Time now for a full look at that Weather Authority forecast. Checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. Again, we saw those wet roads out there on that at Cam tonight.
Yeah, we've got some wet roadways tonight, and tomorrow morning is probably going to be the case as well on the way out the door. But really, that is the end of the hazard with this particular weather system. Now, we have a stronger one on the way. That's going to be here tomorrow night, and that one has all sorts of alerts in place for it. Here's a live look from Domenico's on the Wharf. Dealing with that first wave of rain tonight, you can see some raindrops on the shield. Well, let's say the camera lens, but the camera is in a protective housing. Not that you care. But anyway, there's some raindrops on it, which you can see. It is raining out there. It's also a little on the cool side, although not quite as cold as last night. The clouds are helping keep temperatures a little bit warmer than where they were. We have a few spots in the 30s, especially up in the higher terrain. But at the moment, we're going to sit in the 40s overnight around the bay. That's about where we're going to stay instead of a very cold morning like we had this morning. Rain isn't going to last all night. We might still have a few lingering showers by the time the sun comes up, but for the most part, it should be done by the time we get to sunrise tomorrow morning. Here's what future track looks like. We can see widespread precipitation kind of tapering off once we start to get to 3 a.m., 6 a.m., just a few sprinkles out there. And then after that, we're kind of partly cloudy for a portion of the day tomorrow. We'll have some cloud cover, probably more clouds than sun, but I do think the sun will sneak through in some areas. And ultimately, it's just going to be kind of a brief break between the systems. The second one will be here tomorrow night. It will also start with a wave of light rain moving in, but then that rain just kind of picks up as we head into the late evening hours. It's kind of stays steady, especially in those coastal mountains. This is 3 a.m. Thursday morning, and we're seeing bands of heavy rainfall in the coastal mountains and then kind of more sporadic, moderate rainfall around the bay. And that's about what we're going to wake up to Thursday morning. So that Thursday morning commute is going to be on the hazardous side. Tomorrow morning, wet roads. Thursday morning commute, lots of wet roadways. Heavy rain potentially and very gusty winds at times, especially on the exposed coast. The coastal mountains are going to catch the brunt of this southwest flow, perpendicular to the Santa Lucia range. Really, we'll see the highest rainfall totals there. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the high mountain spots get into that 7, 8, 9, 10-inch range. Would not be impossible to see with this particular system. Cities around the bay, you're going to get a couple of inches of rain, and even in the Santa Cruz Mountains, we're going to start getting to that 6 to 7-inch range in some of the higher elevations. Once we get to 7 inches or so, that's when we start to see issues with our waterways, the San Lorenzo River, Corralitos Creek, Soquel Creek. We start getting high. We're not necessarily into the flood zone. If we had this system after a couple of heavier systems, yeah, we would definitely be in the flood zone. Right now, the water levels are still fairly low, so hopefully they can handle it. But if you live near those streams in the Santa Cruz Mountains, just be prepared for anything. Now, as we head into 9 a.m., the model is showing things kind of down. We'll have a cold front, maybe not a very distinct one, but a cold front will start to change the wind direction and pause the rain as it moves to the south. Now, okay, now we get to Thursday afternoon and what's going on? We're still looking at some gusty southwesterly winds, and we'll have showers starting to develop. In fact, not only showers, but maybe even some thunderstorms with heavy rainfall possible out of those as well. And that threat is going to continue Thursday night, and then into Friday, we'll have a few showers lingering. So I think the main event is going to be between 5 and 10 a.m. on Thursday. Future track precip showing some light precip overnight with this first system, but watch what happens as we have the rainfall from that secondary system, and we're in the 2-inch range or so for cities around the bay and much higher amounts in those coastal mountains. So pretty wet system. The atmospheric river is well established, and the storm itself will be able to access that moisture because we have a pretty strong atmospheric river over us right now. There's a lot of moisture in it, but there's not really any mechanism to pull the rain out. We have that with this secondary system, and that's why I'm expecting some of that flooding potential. The winds, as far as that is concerned, we'll see the winds switch to the south tomorrow, really pick up into Thursday morning, starting to get pretty gusty. And again, I think that that time period between around 5 a.m. and maybe 10 a.m. on Thursday morning for coastal Monterey County and western Santa Cruz County, and then the higher terrain everywhere, we're going to see some of the gustiest winds. Here's 4 a.m. We're seeing widespread southwesterly winds on the stronger side as we head into 7 a.m. Still seeing that. And then they kind of die down a little bit as we head into the afternoon as the winds shift a bit, but additional showers may cause also some additional bouts of wind. On top of that, we've got some waves. That storm, as it develops tomorrow, will create some big swells out over the water. And watch what happens. That is going to approach the coast and really kind of approach Bay as we head into late Thursday into Friday. We could definitely see some pretty big waves with that. Weather Service has put out a high surf warning for that time period. Again, that's going to be late Thursday into Saturday, and we have the potential to see some pretty massive breakers on the beaches. So you're going to want to stay away from the water Thursday afternoon into Friday. Quick look at your forecast temps. This is for tomorrow, for Wednesday. We're going to be in the 50s across most of Santa Cruz County. High of 58 in Santa Cruz tomorrow, lows in the 40s overnight. 40s overnight across the eastern shore of the bay, highs in the mid to upper 50s tomorrow. Hollister, 57. Monterey Peninsula down into the mid to low 40s overnight, highs back in the mid 50s. And then down south, we'll see highs in the 50s. So maybe a touch warmer than today. Today was kind of chilly. Will be a couple of degrees warmer tomorrow. 7-day forecast showing rain tomorrow, then the stormy conditions Thursday, then showers lingering into Friday. Then once we get through that, once we get through Friday, and really by Friday afternoon after that, we're done. Looks pretty dry as we head through the weekend. There's a tiny chance of some sprinkles late Sunday night, but other than that, looking at dry and seasonable conditions into early next week. Inland areas also looking a little bit stormy here for the next couple days. Make sure you're staying tuned to my forecast and download the KION Weather Authority app to get those latest alerts straight to your phone. We'll be right back after this.